How to remove the rear bumper on a Ford Fusion. This one here is a 17 Fusion. And what I was looking to do, I find out mine had blind spot system, so I was trying to see if it had the wiring for it. Unfortunately, it does not, because if it did, the blind spot system would be right here, or at least the harness would be, but mine does not have it. But to remove the bumper, you want to take off your taillights. You have the two screws inside here. They're 10 millimeters. You would do the same thing with this side here, 10 millimeter. And you want to take a flathead screwdriver on this side of the taillight and kind of pry outwards gently on it, just enough to pop the ball point off its little socket here. Same thing with the other side. And after you do that, you'll have some clips after you take the taillights off on both sides. Then you have some screws and clips underneath of the bumper. I'll show you that when I get the bumper back on. But then you want to go to the wheel, the back wheels, and you'll have some clips along here. Don't know how well you'll be able to see it. And you want to remove those clips. One here, and you can look along it while you're doing it and see where they're at. And what you want to do, let's see if I can get a better angle at it. Yeah, you can see where all the holes are at. And what you want to do after you get that, pull this down, and you'll have a screw right with the fingers out here. Mine is a 7 millimeter, I believe it is, 7 or 6. But on the older Fusion, the screws that's on the bottom, and I think even on here, they are 10 millimeters. Even what holds this bumper onto the body of the car is, I believe, the 10 millimeter on the older cars. But since this is a different little body style, it's a 6 millimeter or 7 millimeters. And same thing on this other side here. You want to take the bumper or the wheel well off a little bit, just enough to get to the bolt back here. Move the bolt. And after you get that, all you gotta do is just kind of pop it out of its little place along here. It's just got some little clips that just kind of holds it into place. You want to give it kind of like a gentle pull on it, just to pop it out of its place. You don't want to just yank on it as hard as you can, because you don't want to bust these little places here, or the bumper will not fit in there right. Alright, lifted up the bumper a little bit, and on mine, I have the same thing like on the sides. They're just kind of little pieces that holds onto those little lips on it. I just have to give it kind of a good firm pull and work around it. But on the older ones, you actually got locking tabs. I believe, I don't know if it fits into here or how it does, so you have to give it a little bit firmer pull to pop it out of its little grooves on the older Fusions. Now, what I was talking about underneath of it, as you can see here, got a bunch of these little screws here for the bottom, but if you look underneath of it, you can see all these little screw holes here. And you want to remove all of those screws, and there's some on the sides along here. Same thing with this other side. You want to remove the screw hole, the screws on this other side over here to get it out of place. Alright, that's pretty much how you take it off. Now to put it back on, all you want to do, also this will take 2 hands, and we'll get this side back up onto here and lined up here. As you can see, I already got this side kind of somewhat in there. I just got to get that other side in there. Alright, well, I found it best after get it on there. On mine, it has one little hook here, so I find that best for me. Just kind of have it sitting on the hook, therefore I know it's lined up. So when I'm ready to go and push it in, you have to just give it a kind of good firm push onto it. I'll need to make sure this side's lined up a little bit better. Same thing with over here. Make sure you're lined up. Go ahead and give it a good firm push. After you get the sides into place, what I'd recommend doing, like with mine, I just push up against the bumper like I'm pushing the car with both hands to get these little tabs into place along here. So you gotta just do is push it like you're pushing the car, and you'll hear some snapping and popping. That just means it's going into places onto it. So I got my bumper back in place. Now it's time to put in all the clips and screws. So go ahead and put in your little plastic pins that you have for the tail lights, and go ahead and put in all your little screws that you have down here. After you get all your screws in place and clips, go ahead and put your tail lights in, screw them in. Same thing with the other side, then you are finished. But don't forget to go ahead and put your trim panel back into place. So after that, then you are finished on replacing the bumper. That's how you remove the bumper on a Ford Fusion. Thanks for watching.